The story of Red Wemette.
I was told by some people at the time that he put out $1 million contract on my head.
Hello, everybody. It is October 7th, 2024, and I am Red Wemette. And here we are. We just got through, or we didn't get through because some of my friends that are up in North Carolina, in that area, they're still having problems. That storm really, they never thought it was going to be that bad up there. And it's a killer. It really is. But thankfully, it didn't affect me at all. As any of you saw in the other video, it just didn't affect me. But I hope and pray that everything gets well up there. In the meantime, we have another one coming right in. Everybody's saying, stay safe. Pepperjet, stay safe. Okay, buddy, I will. Polly Walnuts, stay safe. I will. William Price, thank you. I appreciate the prayers. Anywho, this Milton storm is weird. Now, I've seen maybe 40 or 50 hurricanes since I've been in Florida. At least 40. And I can tell you, this one, it kind of reminds me of Wilma because it's coming from the Yucatan. But in the very beginning, before it even formed, it was a tropical storm. They were talking about how it was going to hit Florida as a Category 5. And all these terror television, or we don't have television, all the terror YouTube that was going on. It was crazy. It always is. How you doing, Julie? Thank you. Good to see you. Benjamin, prayers for me and Duke. Yeah, Duke's doing fine. He's sleeping over here. He's just laying down, resting. And thank you. I don't think we're going to need it from the storm, though. The storm that's coming is Milton. And it's coming from the Yucatan. And as I looked at it, I was saying to myself, okay, what's to keep this storm from going through the Straits of Florida, in between Cuba and the Keys, just sliding right through there? Well, mainly the width of what it is. It was a wide storm to begin with, but it wasn't a hurricane then when I was looking at it. And they're predicting, at that time, they were predicting by the time it hits Florida, it's going to be a Category 5. So I'm looking at the cone path, and this morning it was finally declared a hurricane, but it intensified extremely fast. Extremely fast. It's all the way up to a 4 already. It's got a long ways to go. Now, I'm not a professional meteorologist. I'm not a professional anything that has to do with hurricanes. But I can tell you this. I'll bet you a $100 bill and a steak dinner that it does not hit as a Category 5, as they said it would. The terror of, people overemphasizing things on YouTube is outrageous. I will tell you this. It's not going to be that easy either. The cone is grown. And if you look on the thumbnail that I made about this one, it shows my city, Panama City Beach. And I am way out of the path. I mean, like way out of the path. There's I don't believe you're saying this, but I'm gonna find out anyway. Hurricane science question: does a hurricane rain salt water? No, it's fresh water. it kind of desalinates. Dan, I'm not going surfing. But if I was, there isn't anything to surf on. I mean, it's not bad over here. Yes, Scott, you're in the path of after it blows its way out. You're going to get a lot of rain over there, Scott, but very little wind. It's not going to be bad at all. You'll see. At any rate, let me get back to my spiel here. I'm making some predictions, and some of them are just based on experience. That's all. Common sense. It's a wide storm, a very wide storm. But by the time it may heat up into a Cat 5, but by the time it gets to the coast of Florida, the West Coast, I predict it'll be down to a Cat 3. It's going to blow itself out. Once it hits the coast and it gets over halfway to the East Coast, I believe it'll blow itself down to just a tropical storm. Lots of rain. Lots and lots of rain. That's what you're looking at. Those of you that don't live anywhere near Florida, or it's not going to affect you, George, you got me. Hi, Red and Duke. Arf, arf. Thank you, George. George Wilson. Dave Grippy. Red, you and Duke come back to Illinois. No, you out of your mind. Wild horses couldn't drag me back to Illinois. Dave, sorry. Don't like it there. Thank you, Bill. William Price. I'm a calming force in a crazy world. I like to be. As a matter of fact, I threw up a notice yesterday, and it said, any of you that watch my channel, watch me in any way, you know that I always ask you to hit the like and subscribe, or subscribe to my channel, or like. I really ask you to subscribe, but I ask you to like it. And I always tell you I need the help. Well, our country needs some help now. And I'm not asking for a like. What I'm asking for is that we all get out and vote, because we really need some help here. I mean, it's serious, very serious. We need everyone to vote. That's it. So, Dan, watch out. I hear sharks will be in the hurricane. They don't come ashore. Sharks stay out there. How you doing, Jim? Jim Magnifici. Good to see you, buddy. Charlie don't surf. Okay. Be safe. I'm going to be safe. I mean, even Wednesday, this is supposed to hit I think Wednesday night and Thursday morning. It's moving very fast. That I can tell you. It's a monster that way. It's moving very fast. But when it gets here, it's not going to be that bad. Now, if I still lived in Sarasota, I would evacuate. I'd get in a car and probably drive up north to Gainesville, or even further north. I'd come up here to the Panhandle, stay overnight in a hotel, and go back the next day. There's going to be flooding. It's going to be bad. The last time I saw a storm get a direct hit in Sarasota, I lived in Sarasota, and I watched Longboat Key right across from me. I lived on the bay, on Sarasota Bay. And as you looked out down my street, I was on a cul-de-sac. you could see the water recede right out of the bay and pull back over Longbow Key. Did a lot of damage to the houses there. When it came back with the storm surge, you could actually walk across Longbow Key for a while. There was nothing there. And when that storm surge came back and it went over Longbow, it demolished everything on Longbow Key. And on the shoreline, and you look down in the bay, you could see things that were dumped, over the years. But when it all came back up, you see lawn furniture and things that came across that you could look at Longbow Key from. Longbow Key is a sandbar, and Florida is full of sandbars. I'm living on one. That's what these are. They call them barrier islands. Well, basically, they've been made by surf and such other things. But it's really not going to be. It's really not going to be that bad. I don't think it will be. Thank you, Dave and Wolfie. I hope you folks are happy. Yes, I did pick the right place to live, and I didn't always live here. Remember, in 2004, I think that 1 year alone, I got hit with 5 hurricanes. And after that, I caught one. So it was kind of crazy back in those days. But this is going to be pretty much safe here. Hello, Casper. How you doing? At any rate, I say that a lot. At any rate, what we see sometimes isn't the worst thing in the world. Sometimes it's. I'm looking at people right now that are up in North Carolina. I have some friends in Whittier. I used to be in Whittier, North Carolina. Now they're in Asheville, and they just got power. And they lost everything that was in the house. Their photographs. They're on Facebook. And I asked them to call me. They can't call. They don't have any cell phone service. It's rough. But it's not like that here. And it's not going to be like that here. Where I'm at, we don't have anything. Except dogs that bark. He just started barking. Come here, big guy. He just started this. He just started to be in his protective mode. Okay, Duker. Okay. Look at the. Don't bite my chin. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Oh, he's got a floor duster of a tail, I'll tell you that much. And he loves jumping up on me. I don't let him do that, but I figure it's the only way he's going to get up to the camera. And you heard him go to the door. He's barking at somebody at the door. I think he heard a motorcycle go down the street. Scott H., you did an RV of camping around Asheville. It's a wealthy area. It's pretty nice. It's not bad. Scott, it's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be ground zero. You're going to catch a lot of rain. Ground zero is over by Tampa. That's where it's a problem. This thing, when it hits the coast, there's going to be a storm surge on it. Not as bad as we've seen before, but there still will be. And those are evacuation areas. You're not in Titusville's not an evacuation. You're over by the Space Coast. There's no evacuation by you guys. I don't think you're going to see more than 45-mile-an-hour winds over there. And we saw more than that in Chicago. Philip Dilbert. God bless Florida. Be safe. We're doing our best here. How you doing, Seka? I hope you understand English. I don't understand your native language. Scott, it's going to weaken way before it gets there. I mean, way before. It's a tropical storm, 40 miles into the coast. That's all. And then after that, it's gonna do whatever it does. Seka, I get you. Mr. Price, what is my take on the port strike? I don't like any strikes right now because we're having enough problems. And I really think a lot of things are problems, but our whole country's having problems. But when things are as bad as they are, for people to go out on a strike and strangle the public because they want an increase or they want something else, and they're going to make everybody else. Aren't we all suffering enough? Do we need another strike? This isn't the time. This is not the time. Then again, union people might say, well, this is the best time. This is when they're hurting. This is when they got to give. I think we could avoid the strikes. I think there's enough problems. That bridge that goes from Maryland and DC, that's terrible. And Rico Swab, that union pork guy spokesman, legit or what? I don't know. I really don't. But you're right. It's time to come together. It's time for everybody to help each other. I love what they're doing up in Asheville, North Carolina. FEMA's not getting in there and fixing anything. The federal government is not doing a damn thing. But guess what? All the people up there, and I talked to them there on Facebook here, and I talked to them and I told them, and they told me, they showed me pictures. They get out, they cut trees, they clear the roads. They're doing things themselves. The contractors are ordering the supplies and actually building infrastructure. They're fixing roads. They're fixing sewer systems. They're plowing the streets and getting the mud off of it from the rivers that overflowed. The buildings that are damaged are tearing down, they're rebuilding. That's what it used to be like 50, 60 years ago in this country. And it's still like that up in the hills. Now, you may want to call those people hillbillies or hicks or whatever you want to call them, but they're living a damn better life than most of us. They really are. And I'm happy. I'm proud of them. Now, Matt and Nicole moved up there. They lived in Lake Worth, Florida. And Scott H., you know where that's at, Lake Worth. It's south. It's in Palm Beach County. It's south of West Palm Beach, and it's on the coast. They have Lake Worth Beach, Lake Worth Pier, and actually Lake Worth used to be where the polo grounds were until they moved it west until Wellington. But they moved from down there all the way up to Whittier, North Carolina, and they were up there for many years. And one of their relatives passed away, and they had a vacant house, and they bought it. And they've been living in it ever since, and that's in Asheville. Their written address is Asheville when I write them. But at any rate, I saw them on Facebook. I've seen them. I talk to them all the time. And they've raised some kids, and they're coming along. And I got a kick out of Nicole because Nicole told me, or for the public, she told the whole public, that it's really not that bad. She just lost everything, all pictures, photographs. I mean, anything that was in the garage downstairs, the river just came through. But Matt, the whole time, was out digging a moat around the house so the river would pass them and save them. And he saved his own house and saved other people. And he hasn't gotten time to get on social media because he's out there with a chainsaw. He's out there working. He's out there cooking. He's out there doing everything he possibly can. And Matt's that kind of guy. And so's Nicole. They got hearts of gold. So things like that are things that we all have to think about. How you doing, Big Tuna? Jim Jager, your public announcement here. It's 4/21/04. No, it's not. Okay. Has anyone wondered about the effect of these hurricanes? Are they going to have on the election? Yeah, I was worried about the other day. I was thinking, is everybody going to be able to vote in November? And it seems like they are. But then again, I look at other places where, like in California, which I consider a write-off state anyway. If you don't like it, folks, then I'm too bad. It's too bad because I'm just going to speak my mind. When they pass out ballots to everybody, you don't have to have a driver's license, nothing. Just get a ballot in California. That's it. LA County, grab a ballot. Anybody you want, just grab a ballot and vote. You don't have to be a citizen. You don't have to be a registered voter. All you got to do is have a hand and a head, maybe two hands, and legs to walk. You can vote. But I always considered California to be a write-off anyway. It wasn't really going to do anything. It's a blue state that's extremist, and I cannot live with extremism in either direction. Quite frankly, I'm not happy with the candidates. I really believe that is this the best of the best that we can possibly put in office? No, it's not. The best of the best is keeping their heads down. They don't want to be president. They don't want to serve in Washington. They can make better money doing other things. And that's what it's all about. Mr. Nibbles, yes, you live in Wisconsin. You heard it's a battleground state. It is. The Badger State is a battleground state. And I have, all my life, I've thought of it as a Democratic state. But this year, I believe it's going to be a Republican state. I really do. That's one of my predictions. There is no FEMA National Guard in KC downtown airport. Tons of military hardware, riots, barriers stacked up instead of time we currently live in. I don't know what's going on in KC, Kansas City. I think it's going to go Republican, not only on the presidential side, but I think it's going to go Republican on your senators also. I think people are fed up with what's going on. I don't think that the media is bringing anything false, and I really got a kick out. Somebody brought this to my attention. It was Adam last night. He brought to my attention. It was a soundbite. And the soundbite said it was President Trump saying a whole sentence. And the sentence started out with, on my first day, I will be a dictator. And after that, I'm going to change so many things and bring it back the way we used to be. But the fake news media turned around and said, they cut the last part out and they just said, on my first day, I will be a dictator. Trump said it himself. Okay, now we know what's going on. They're preparing for the election aftermath if civilians riot here in Kansas City, Missouri. Okay. We're not doing that here. We don't have people riot. And honestly, I really believe that what they call the insurrection on January 6th, I don't think those were Republicans. I think they were paid people, paid to riot. There were some gawkers, some onlookers, but I don't think it was. Big Tuna, the establishment doesn't want a president. The establishment, huh? How about the deep state, the people that we don't even see and can't talk to, doesn't want a president that will do the good for the average person. They want a puppet so they can make and control us. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And temporary crisis actors on the January 6th, I believe so. I hope they don't destroy your city too, Rico. I really do. I know they won't around me. Maybe that's why I live where I live. I don't want any of that baloney. I had enough of it in Chicago. I was there for the 68 Democratic riots. I was there for the Burn Baby Burn when the whole West Side went up. Jesse Jackson was talking. I'm through with that baloney. I won't live with it anymore. Actually, they are, Rico. And I looked, going back to 2020, when we had different people moving across the state lines. And there was a bus full of them that were coming in from Alabama, but Florida stopped them. They had FDLE stop the bus, and they made it pull in over at a Walmart. And an officer got on the bus and asked for IDs. And the people on the bus didn't have IDs. They didn't have any IDs. So they told them, you have to have identification to actually walk around in Florida. So we might as well arrest you right here if you continue. Well, they turned around, the bus around, and went back to Alabama. What happened from there, I don't know. But that's the way it was. Big Tuna, maybe you know more about this than I do. Yes, paid agitators caused J6, January 6th, I believe is what you're trying to say. Pelosi was the architect of it. I wouldn't doubt it, but I wouldn't say it either because I can't prove it. I don't know it to be a fact. If you do, fine. I just put it up there for other people to read. George Wilson, is Illinois becoming more like Cali in recent years? No, really not. I mean, Cali has been crazy going all the way back to 1957, 58. And even Ronald Reagan was a Democrat in California and then became a Republican. So I don't know. It isn't a matter of the party you belong to anyway. The party is just that, a club, a party. And who belongs to it is like, it's like joining a fraternity or a sorority. I mean, you get to wear the badge and say, I'm one of these. This is who I am. And I don't believe in that personally, not for me. It may be for you, maybe what you want, camaraderie. But I don't really believe in that. I just don't. Um, I'm more open-minded than that. I don't have to vote for everybody just because they belong to the same club, just because they're all Democrats, or just because they're all Republicans. It doesn't matter. What happens is the candidate. Are they qualified? Are they going to help you? Are they going to help me? That's what I'm concerned about. Chain Weaver, how you doing, buddy? You made it, but you're late, but you're here. I see. Thank you for stopping by. Hit that like button. I need all the help I can get. And don't forget, please go out and vote. Make sure you vote, guys and gals. Tim Perrone, I watched that over and over, and I watched the philosophy of George Carlin, and he is so much on the money when he talks about we have the illusion of freedom. We have the illusion of this, and we've had this, and it goes way, way back. I mean, it goes back to World War II. It goes way back. We've had illusions, but the politicians were all bought and paid for. By who? Corporate America. It's a big club, and I'm not in it. But he had a very good point. He had a very big point, a very good point. And one of the things I'm going to point out that I don't like about George Carlin was he did not believe in God. I believe in God. I believe that a supreme being made everything around us, or things that could be man-made. He didn't believe in that. Another thing he did not believe in was voting. He said, I've never voted in my life. I wouldn't waste my time. I'm here as a spectator just to watch the whole chaos show. It was chaotic to him, a whole chaotic show. And he said, when it's all over, I'll die. And they said, well, what then? Nothing. You die, you go to sleep, and you never wake up, and that's it. There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is no God. That part I did not believe. Just didn't. You understand, I understand when you talk, but I am old, so I start to get hard to text. I understand. That's good, guy. I'm not a youngster myself. I'm 75 years old, so I've been around to see a lot of it. And hopefully I'll be around to see a lot more. Tim Perrone, I think Pearl Harbor might have been a false flag affair. I don't know if it was or not. I really don't. What you believe is what you believe, Tim. William Pierce, I believe in God. You know, most people do. If you don't, you have a problem. Sometimes we don't believe in the same religions because there's so many. I mean, we have a lot to choose from. And the freedom of choice is just that. We have a freedom of choice. We can be anything we want to be. But sometimes in my personal life, I will tell you that I can speak to God right here in this room. I don't need to go to a church. I don't need a priest or a preacher to tell me what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I've read the Bible, probably more than any of you. I've read the Bible well over a dozen times, cover to cover. And most of you have not done that. But I'm not a holy roller either. I don't believe in forcing my views on you. Whatever you believe in, you believe in. Live with it. Be happy with it, because that's the important part. Lisa, how you doing? Big Tuna. Here come the testaments. I'm no holy roller, but I believe in God, Jesus Christ for sure. Thank you, Big Tuna. Like your testament. We all believe in something. I lost my faith in God. I never really talk about that too much. When I was young, I did. And I went searching through from religion to religion to religion to religion. I've probably been baptized more than anybody you know. But I found out that faith, understanding is really where it's all at. And whether you do or don't join other people in their beliefs is not that important. It's how you live and how you treat others. And you're not going to find that much help inside a building that they call a church or a meeting hall or whatever they call it, a religious tabernacle of some kind. You're not going to find all the answers there. Some of the answers you find in other places. And that's like this hurricane. I don't know. There's 30, 40 different people that are doing YouTube accounts of the storm, channel 13, channel 25, this channel, that channel, Fox is all over it. And there's some private people that say, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen. Oh, look out for this. Look out for that. The sky is falling. This is going to be the worst thing that ever happened to us. Really? Really? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm really not. We've had some bad things happen to us. Look at the wars we've been through. Lots of them. World War I, World War II. They said those were the worst things that happened. World War I, they called the Great War. The big one. Then World War II came along. That's another thing I was just talking to Adam about. And it's a joke to me. I was reading about different things through history. And I'm a history buff, as you probably know. But I was reading about it. It said, D-Day, acceptable losses. How many thousands of men was an acceptable loss to land at Normandy, Omaha Beach, and all these other amphibious landings? Acceptable loss. And I said, when you're talking about human beings and life, and you're attacking somebody in war, is there any acceptable loss? What is acceptable? 100,000? 200,000 for a war? It's not acceptable to me. I wasn't there. I knew people that were and survived. That's the only reason I know them. They survived. They were there. Acceptable losses. There aren't acceptable losses. It's not acceptable to me. Tim Peroni is a very personal thing, and I really don't want to talk about it. I did not at all, but I don't want to talk about it. Native Americans will tell you that they're living under that you are living under the illusion of freedom. Yeah, really, George. They know. They really know it. And they look at their history because they sit around campfires and they try to bring their tradition on and tell their stories and pass it on because they realize that it's not going to be taught in schools. And that's what's happening today in our school system. The things that I learned years ago when I was going to school, it's not being taught anymore. I look for some of it on the internet. It's not there. It's just not there. Big Tuna. The military industrial complex, LBJ, profited from Vietnam. I've seen the Vietnam. Yes, it does. It does. It is a punch in the gut. But I'll give you one even better. I can outdo that one. I can top you, dude. You know what we're talking about here with me? I was involved in that baloney in 1967, 1966. I was there. But you know what I can top it with? Dick Cheney, our vice president. Our vice president under Bush. Dick Cheney profited and profited and profited. Halliburton. How much money did they make? Yes, Chain Weaver, I would like to see a acceptable loss in the politicians that actually make these wars or condone them. That would be nice. That's another thing I used to say, that old men start wars that young men fight. When I looked at the draft age back in the day, after you were 18, you graduated from high school, you were drafted before you were 19. And you went in the military. Jimmy Carter, a Democrat, got rid of the draft and said no more draft. And I heard a lot of people say back then, well, they'll play hell getting together another army. And it was going to be the all-volunteer army. They were going to start paying people better. And what did I see? I saw families that they're on welfare while they're in the military. And that didn't make any sense to me. They're getting food stamps. That's baloney. Dick Cheney and all his cronies are evil. Yeah, they are. And so is his daughter. And Bush and Hillary. Like I said, now those people are different parties, but they are who they are. Anthony Hood. And how are you, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you, Anthony. It seems like I started talking about a storm, and I don't think it's going to be too bad. It's not going to be like they're suffering up in North Carolina, but I got into politics here, and I want everybody to get out and vote. That's very important to me. I think it's very good. Halliburton. Yeah, they made tons of money. Literally. You could weigh the money out in tons. They made a lot of money. Anthony, I hope you get out and vote, buddy. Oh, we're getting things here. Star Boy, how you doing? Chain Weaver. In 1976, my pay for E4 was a little over $500. How did you live on that a month? You had to pay for your uniforms, too. They weren't free. I remember when I used to get them for nothing. Lonnie, Chicago Sheriff, support to subscribe to Coach Big Red. How you doing here? Potential hurricane. It's not going to be that bad, Lonnie. It's not going to hit me at all. But where it's going to hit is going to be serious, but it's not going to be like it is in North Carolina. It's not going to be that bad. Starter Boy, you're alive. That's good. William Price, do you think the weather can be weaponized? Yes, I do. I think it can be. I think they've been working on it for close to half a century now or better. They've been thinking about using it as a weapon and experimenting with it. That's my own personal opinion, and it can be a weapon. It can be used. It's there. They are They are actually manipulating the weather. They have been for some time. It's very sad. Tim, you hear a lot of things, and here you're spreading it. I've heard whispers of a tropical storm, even behind Milton, hoping I'm wrong. Well, I don't know where you heard the whispers, but they're wrong because you're not going to have a tropical storm behind a tropical storm that turned into a hurricane. Kirby W. Yes, sir. Sunny in Antioch, 62 degrees. I love it. Anthony Hood. He gave me a big yes. I'll bet you hit that like button, Anthony. I'll bet you did. You got an upbeat attitude, dude. I like that. I like it a lot. So here we are, and it's Monday, the 7th of October, 2024. And I got on my soapbox. And Chain Waver, I wish you hadn't told me that. Only 29 likes. I guess a lot of people really don't like what I say. Maybe I should stay off the air. What do you guys think? Do you think I express my opinions too much? What's your mistake, Anthony? What's your mistake, buddy? Anthony Hood, what's your mistake, buddy? Tell me. $30 likes now. Thank you, Big Tuna. Stoner Boy. I knew I could count on you. Thank you, Stoner Boy. Stay forever. You want me to stay on forever? I will. I will. Forever is a long time for me. Thank you. Big Tuna, 32 now. You hit the like button. Mr. Hoff, I look forward to your broadcast. I can't find any from my phone. Okay. Anthony, thank you, buddy. Thank you for hitting the like. God bless you. At least I'm reaching you. I want to be with people somewhat like myself that have some of the same things. Christina Morris, your followers like to hear the truth, Red. That's all I'm about. I'm not about spreading the lies. I'm not about the AI button that's going to tell you a story and really tear it up. I'm just not about that. Never have been. All the way from my bedtime stories. I sit down in a chair and just ad lib a story that comes out of my mind. That's what I was doing. That's how I started out in 2016. Lisa Boyd, the whole point is to hear you talk, Red. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you. George Wilson, you directly mailed in your ballot. George, I got mine in the mail too last week. And when I got it in the mail, I filled it all out and everything. But when I was out and about, I decided I'd go to the courthouse. And I went to the Board of Elections. And I walked in and they said, "Hi, Red, how you doing?" I said, "Fine. Here's my ballot." And they said, "Oh, you could have put it in the mailbox." And I said, I didn't trust the mailbox. So I voted too. And they gave me a sticker that says, "I voted." Mr. Hoff, oh, you can't hit the like for you. I understand, guy. Not everybody can. Well, I can tell you like me because you keep coming back and not saying anything terrible. So that's good. Big Tuna 815. You're a concerned American. Nothing wrong with it. An opinion. We love you, dude. Don't you go anywhere. Thank you, Big Tuna. Tim Peroni. Love your opinions. Keep talking. Tim, I don't always agree with you, but I like your opinion too. Everybody has to have their own opinions. You're a great guy. We're all great in our own way. We all did something. Jane Weaver has a message for Mr. Hoffman. Hit the X on the live chat. Oh, he's giving you instructions. Hit the X on the live chat, then the thumbs up button or thumbs down if you don't like me. But you got to hit the X according to Jane Weaver if you're on a cell phone. See, I don't know how to do it on a cell phone either. Polly Walnuts, I vote early, but in person. Then again, I'm still on the line, so it probably doesn't matter. Everything matters because it's what's in your heart. It really does, Polly. I mean, maybe it's, you never know. You never know. Maybe there's enough people that are disgusted with things. You know, one of our great presidents was from Illinois. He was an Illinois senator, Abe Lincoln. Yeah, Republican. He was a Republican senator, but he ran on the Union ticket. He didn't run on the other ticket. Scott H., history lesson. You're voting out absentee ballot. That's about the same. You're voting by mail. So that's good. You figure it's a paper record that they can't hack? Yes, it is. Everything that we do to help each other is something that's important. I think so. And when you vote, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping all of us. We're all helping each other. So I want to thank every one of you. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Please don't have a heart attack over this hurricane that's coming. It's going to hit the whole west coast of Florida. And when it does, it's probably going to bring a big storm surge. So anybody from like in the Keys all the way up to Clearwater, take a drive. Go away for a day. If you can afford it, go someplace for a day. Go north. Go up to North Florida or Panhandle or someplace where it's not going to hit. If you look at the thumbnail for this video, you'll see where I live. I'm way out of the cone. I'm in Panama City Beach. I'm up here in the Panhandle. I can still go 80 miles north and I'll only hit Georgia. I go a few miles west of me and I hit Alabama. But along those ways, Pensacola Beach and some of those other places, Fort Walton, they've been hit with some real bad hurricanes. I'm not saying they don't happen. They just don't happen here. We had Michael that was a killer. I don't think I'll ever recover from it. I don't think people that live here will ever recover from it. A lot of people left. But it's been different. Jim Magnifici. Birds of a feather flock together. Red will come. Outfit, weather. If we didn't want to hear it, we'd be flown to the coop by now. Thank you, Jim. God bless you. Chuck Norris. Yes, Ronald Reagan was born in Illinois. But then again, you know who else was born in Illinois? You're not hearing it. You're not spitting it out, Chuck. Do you know who else is other presidential candidate was born? Hillary Clinton. She was born and raised in Park Ridge. My mother had a fit over that when she was alive. George Wilson, you look forward to my weekly commentary. And Michael Savage, he's in Florida. Ben, the veteran biker from Arkansas. God bless you guys. God bless you one and all. And thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much. And I'll see you. If Adam and I don't talk, get on the air again, I will see you next Monday for sure. God bless you. Red Wemette, over and out.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.